G'day everyone, welcome back to Brook Farm. So today I'm going to get some fence iron spraying done. Finally show you guys what goes on with fence iron spraying and how that all works. So I think it's half full by the look of that. Yeah, there we go. We're probably about 580 litres, something like that. So we'll jump in here and use what's left in here. Just check to make sure that nope, we're going to need to fill that up. And then because this has actually been sitting for it's going to be 5 days now, 6 days, I'm going to get it agitating and get that rolling. Okay, so like I said, it's been about 5 days since this has been used. So the last day, actually probably even it's going to be 6 days. So it was Tuesday, it's now Monday, so it was Tuesday that we last used this. So Henry was doing fence line spraying, and then we went on a crop walk and had a look at some canola trials with some wetter, the NBT trials, and also urea trials. So that was it was a good day, that one. Looking at some canola, I reckon we might probably give Velocity a go. That looked like a good canola to try and give a go. So I reckon I might try and get my hands on some seed. And then Wednesday we were doing the part 3 of the fire truck because it was raining. Thursday I was in town for most of it. Yeah, no, I was doing flight training. So I actually went solo for the first time, so that was scary as all hell, but got that done, so that was good fun. And Henry was at home. He had been to the dentist the night before with his teeth. They pulled some nerves and he was feeling quite sore, so he stayed home for Thursday. Friday I was also in town, and Friday Henry left to go back to New Zealand. So Henry's on holidays, so hopefully he's having a good rest and a break over there. So yeah, and then obviously the weekend I wasn't here. I was actually up in Lake Grace. So that is why it's been a while, and that's why I'm agitating that. So yeah, we'll get it all, we'll get it done, we'll get it sprayed out. It'll be no worries. The chemical in there will be fine. It all works well together. It can sit. It's not like atrazine or anything like that, where you don't want to leave it in a tank for more than a day. Otherwise it just sits at the bottom of the tank and just becomes an absolute gluey mess. But yeah, so there's not much fence line spraying to be done. Henry has already done the whole farm. There's only Hattons that needs to be done. So we're going to head down there and get that done. We're obviously not down in Hattons because this is canola. This is the front paddock. So this one is going to do very well. I'm very excited to see how this goes. But I thought I'd just stop it on my way down, and we just have a walk around, have a look. So you can see Henry has sprayed down here. There's not many weeds that grow on here. You can see he's sprayed because the edge of the canola is dead. And yeah, we like to make sure we sometimes the cedar is a little bit close to the fence. So no matter what, we always spray the width of that ute the whole way down fence lines. And what it means is it gives us a good fire break, but also it means the headers aren't too close to the fence. Sometimes we've had it where we've seeded the crop, you know, right alongside. And for those that don't know, we call them a header front. You guys, I think, call them headers or combs. They're quite wide on the ends, so you've got all the gearboxes and everything in the ends, so they're quite wide, and you can actually get them hitting the side of the fence here if you're not careful. So we like to just make sure we've got a nice big area that we can get through nice and easy. And what we'll do after I finish down at Hattons is I need to go and do the boundary. So we spray the boundary and get that all nice and dead as well, and again for fire breaks. So you can see Henry's been here. Now this was last year with the grader. You can see how clean the fire break is, and then he's also ripped it on that side there. So we ripped that because those trees, if he hadn't have ripped it, you'd see like this wave effect going down the crop. and that's because the tree roots come all the way out here and they suck the moisture from the crop. So instead of doing it out here in our crop and having a big ridge that the header front has to go over, or here that the fence line spray has to go over, we just like to do it out there, just so that the it's not on our property and it's away from us. But yeah, so we like to get that all nice and clear. Now, yes, the canola is, I'm not going to walk out there because we've had a dew, and you can probably see how wet it all is. If I just do that with my hand, probably can see how wet that is. But it is looking sensational. The canola we grow, you know, we don't get big canola. You know, a lot of people can grow canola that's up above your head. Just fantastic. They're the hybrids, things like Roundup Ready, everything like that. The GM canola, we don't do GM canola, we just do TT, because basically we the seeder doesn't, well, you can see now, but the seeder, we don't get the best strike with canola, and when you're paying so much for seed, I just didn't like that. We gave it a go once, and it was the drought year, and we just had plants, like no plants. It was horrible. So that's why I stick with TT, and you get a better price for it. But so this is Renegade. So this is the second year growing this, and yeah, I'm encouraged by it. So what I was getting at is we don't get big tall canola, but we do get good pod depth. So we got pods from down here all the way to the top, and then this will keep growing up. But it's looking good. Maybe on a day that's not wet, we can go for a walk out there and I'll show you. But if I walk out there now, I'll get absolutely drenched. But the encouraging thing is seeing how big our pods are. So nice long pods and big thick pods is what we want to see, which is just fantastic. What we don't want to see is, if you can see that, those are aphids. They're nothing to worry about. You're going to see it on the edge of the paddock because there's trees just there. It's if we see them, you know, 200 meters out in the paddock there, then we've got an issue. It'll start to look like that. So I hope that shows up on the camera. You can see all that blue or purple. Those are aphids, and they really will decimate a crop if there's a lot of them. But you'll always get them on the sides because the trees. But for us at the moment, nothing to worry about. So it becomes a bit of a balance of you know, making sure that you're not going to get bogged for starters, but also making sure you're not going to spray the crop, and make sure you're covering the area that you want to cover. And because we've got we've got three sections. We've got left, we've got right, and we've got the main, the center. And if you go to turn the whole boom off, or you think you're turning, yeah, long story short, I sprayed the crop. I was right up along the crop edge, which I'll show you guys how we do that in a sec. And I turned the switch on. I think I was turning it off. Well, no, turning another. Anyway, I turned the one that was pointing straight into the crop on, and gave it a little bit of a spray. So when the boys are harvesting that, or they'll be able to see where I did that. It wasn't for very long. It was only for about a split second, but you'll still be able to see it. At the moment, we're just doing the brew up pad area where Henry brews up his boom spray. So it'll use a fair bit of chemical just getting this covered, but it will be good to get it done. You can see, you might be able to see. So this here's what Henry has done, and it's dying. So it's got a brown tinge to it, which is good. And yeah, the thing we just obviously need to watch out for is that everything we spray does die. It doesn't get through it, so we don't get resistance. Fence lines are notorious for where resistance will start on your farm. And when I'm saying resistance, so resistant ryegrass is probably the biggest issue, and that is when how it starts is you've got your fence line, and so you got your fence line, you got your boom spray that can only get so close to the fence line, and you're not always killing the weeds that are on that fence line, so then they get just micro doses of the chemical you're spraying, and then eventually that'll you know, they become resistant, and then they will then obviously keep on growing and dropping seeds and setting seed, and that'll blow into your paddock, and then you've got resistant ryegrass in your paddock. So when we go back and we brew up, I'll show you what we throw in here and how much, but we do just try and make sure that everything dies when we're driving back around after, you know, we can see that that's all dying that Henry just sprayed. But we always go for another look around just to make sure, because if something doesn't die, we then come back with a much higher load, and yeah, we just try and wipe it out, because yeah, we do not want resistance. We've been pretty good with our fence line spraying and making sure that we kill everything that's up close to the fence line. The boom spray does do a very good job at getting quite close, so we do end up with bare boundaries, which is good. But yeah, we just want to make sure that we definitely do not get resistance. So I'm going to keep spraying this big area out here, and then I'll get back to you when we're going along the crop. I'll show you that. Here's a prime example of what I meant by sometimes our boundaries are quite clear. So Henry's boom spray probably gets to about the middle of the ute there, and then he's got the fence iron jet. So he gets right out there, which means it's fantastic. It means that we don't, in a fair bit of our paddocks, we don't have a lot of greenery coming through. So at the moment, I haven't got anything on. I'll turn it on here where we go over this little bit of green here. But yeah, it's oh, there we go. I got a kangaroo out there too. So we'll what I do is I prefer to go with the crop on my right hand side, because what that means is that I can see where my spray is getting to, and basically what I do is I just get the mat right up close to the crop there. If it sprays a little bit of the crop, honestly I'm not too worried. I'd much rather just kill the ryegrass and have a clean edge than not. So yeah, that's how I do it. I'm not sure how Henry does it. He probably does it the same, might do it differently. But then when it comes to if there's a fence line, so we'll get to that in a bit, but we get to where there's a fence line, and fence line on one side and you got crop on the other, and that is where I prefer to have the fence line on my right hand side, because I can get close to the fence line. And if we're spraying into the neighbours, you know, the weeds that are on us and the neighbour's boundary, I prefer it so it's on my right hand side, so I can make sure that I'm not going to spray over his crop or get into his crop at all. Then basically I get as close as I can to the fence, and I just don't turn that big jet nozzle on the other side, and that's just how it works for yeah, going along there. And it's a lot of fun when you got trees that overhang. They just makes it easier to come out in the crop all the time, but hopefully remembering to turn off the fence jet nozzle. So yeah, it's some spots is really good, and some spots up there you might be able to see it's quite green. I'm not sure why that little bit is, but let's see if I'm going to get bogged here. There's a bit of water there, so let's hope we don't. Alrighty. Nope, come on forward, you got it. There we go. Figured I'd show you what I mean by the mat. So this is what we've got out the back. So I run it so that the mat is like that, and then you can see where my spray is dribbling down there. This is off at the moment, but because it's in this tarp, yeah, it obviously dribbles on the edge. So my spray sort of gets to there, and I just got to remember not to turn this boomless jet on here, because that shoots out that way. So with the boom jet on that side, the center frame, and then the boom jet on that side, we get about a 6 meter swath, which is pretty good. It means that we can, like when I'm doing that like brew up area up there, you can actually get quite a cover quite a bit of distance. You're not, you know, having to follow your wheel tracks right on your wheel tracks, which is nice. So yeah, obviously you can see we're targeting ryegrass. There's capeweed out here. There is radish in some spots. There is some marshmallow in spots. So it's yeah, it's all about trying to get the right brew to tackle everything, so you're not having to come back and do it all multiple times. But and you can see that's some turnip. The the weedy looking weed, well, sticky, weedy, woody, the woody looking weed. Yeah, no, we'll just we'll get back in, we'll keep on cruising, keep on killing. Oh dear, I may be bogged. I haven't tried to get out just yet. So where I am is at my house dam. So that's the original one there, and this is the one that got built. The weather station's just up there. And so what I've got in front of me, this is called Status, and it's a very hard weed to kill when it's in crop. And it is like, it'll downgrade your grain, whatever you deliver. So you want to make sure you kill it so it doesn't blow out into your paddock. Well, I reversed, and I was reversing into here, and I didn't realise that there was standing water, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to call Rhiannon, and she's gonna have to come pull me out. Let's see. Come on, little truck, come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, there we go, we're out. We are out. I honestly thought I was getting Rhiannon for that, because if you have a look, it was just sitting on the surface. So normally when you're just sitting on the surface, you just can't move. I was actually surprised we got out. Anyway, I shall I shall now spray this area here without reversing into that. Geez, I'm glad I didn't need a call. That would have been rather embarrassing. She's empty, so we're back here at the shed, ready to fill up. So I'll explain what it is that what we put in there. So we start off with 800 litres of water. 800 because if you go any more, you're just getting it too heavy for the utes to be able to carry. This can carry a lot better than what Bill did. Bill was struggled a fair bit. What do we put in? So essentially, well, it's hard to gauge how many hectares we can spray with this. So yeah, I don't know, let's just say it does sort of 2 hectares, but we want to go a higher concentration of chemical than what we normally would on a summer spray. So first of all, we start off with some ammonium sulfate, which is this stuff just here. We put 1/3 of a bag in. That just helps the water bind to the Roundup a bit better. We then have got ester, so we use ester, 4 litres of that. Roundup, we use 10 litres of that. We've got metsulfuron, we do 100 grams of that. This is Terrador, so we've been using Terrador. That's specifically for marshmallow. We get marshmallow in our fence lines, so we do like to, it's expensive, very expensive, but we do like to use it because it kills it. And lastly, Orca, which is a surfactant, so that helps everything bind to the plant and then get in. So yeah, the Roundup and the ester, they kill everything. The mallow is the Terrador, and the metsulfuron, that just I don't think we have any around here, but that just helps to kill any woody weeds that be out there, things like fleabane or turnip, you know, things like that. So yeah, that's our brew. So we chuck that all in, we agitate it and get it all nice and mixed up, and I'll run you through this again in case you guys didn't watch the other one. So we've got the pump, which just has a agitation hose that goes into the side there with a tap. We turn that on and off when we want. We've got a pressure gauge here to give us an idea of what pressure our nozzles are going out at. We aim for 2 bar. Anything higher than that, you're starting to get too much drift. So we come around to here, and the Bicky lid has gone. I don't know where that's gone, must have blown off on Henry, but in there we've got 3 solenoids, all controlled from in the cab here. So in the cab we've got this box here, which is what we use. So ignore this one, we don't use this one anymore, but we've got left, we've got the middle, and then we've got right, and then the master on off, so we can just have our 2 on and just turn that on and off if we need. So that's been, I'm going to need 2 hands here. That's been very handy to, you know, to have multiple sections. It just means that you can control your spray a bit better. Now these on each side, we've got a boomless jet, which is this thing here, and essentially it's a 0 drift nozzle. It just throws out big droplets, and that, you know, scoots you know, sort of out here somewhere, so you get a good coverage. And then lastly, in the center here, we've got our nozzles that are all spaced at 25 centimeters, just to help us with coverage. You want to make sure you're getting absolute best coverage when you're spraying for your fence lines. So yeah, that's what we do, and we sort of stick around that 20 to 30 k's an hour. We don't go above that, because when you're spraying, well, not with the Agrifac, but with something like the John Deere or the Rogator before that, we used to spray at about 30 k's an hour. So we don't go above that with our fence line spraying, otherwise you're not getting a good coverage. So let's hope there's enough water in here and I can fill up, and we can yeah, get going. So it's quick and as simple and easy as that. The only thing I need to worry about now is I'm now got 800 kilos on the back, and yeah, just got to make sure that I don't get bogged as I'm driving back out to where I was. So yeah, just gonna grab myself a drink, head out there. Well, I don't know how much footage you guys actually see of when I put it out on the side of the ute there, because the mount that this is, it is very good, and you go over a bump and the camera moves, so you'll have either seen it or you won't. But yeah, no, just ticking through. Didn't get bogged, which was good, and yeah, just slowly, well, what do we, probably used half of our tank now. Yeah, just ticking along. I'm on the other side of the paddock now, just going along the other side of the creek. And as you can see, like I was saying, where Henry gets his boom, it does, you know, leave it pretty bare, and it's just sort of on the outside that it doesn't. But yeah, no, it's, yeah, we're getting it done. Ideally, we'd like to have fence iron spraying done, you know, sort of like that July period. We're obviously in August at the moment, and it just didn't happen because basically we're just too busy, and we had a lot of rain through July, so it meant that we couldn't really be spraying during that period. But yeah, it's all right. We're getting onto it now. The reason we try to go a bit earlier is just to make sure that none of the weeds have had a chance to set seed. I do believe that a few of the weeds that I'm spraying probably have had that chance to set a seed, so there's, you know, there's no real point to be spraying out here because the weeds are just going to grow again. But yeah, it's important to try and get on it early to, you know, stop that. But yeah, just this year it just didn't happen, and I've got a tree in the way that I need to move. So the seeder drivers just tend to seed through it. The header drivers tend to go around it. Sometimes the fence iron sprayer drivers, we like to just go around it too, but I should move it out the way, make it a bit clearer and easier for us. So yeah, I'll just continue on. It'll be all day spraying this block, and then hopefully I can get on to tomorrow getting the boundaries done. The boundaries are pretty quick to do, just because you're just quite literally driving around the outside of the farm. I don't know how many k's there would be. There'd be 20-30 odd k's of the outside, so yeah, but that is honestly done very quickly. It's you know, no fiddling around with small stuff like this. It's just driving straight down a straight fence. So I'll get back to it. Of course, I ran out right at the other end of the paddock. Now this is our biggest paddock we've got. This is the 730 hectare paddock. So I ran out at the other bloody corner, but it worked out. It was lunchtime, so now I'm heading back that way, and I should put it into four-wheel drive. The last little bit to do is just the south headland, which is nice and simple. And then the reason I'm spraying up is this is the new track that we built. So the new track is a bit grassy, obviously on the edge, and then on the fence line there. So just getting getting this sprayed out, and then I'll spray the fence line on my way back down. And then all I'm going to do is just the fence line up and around my house, and that is all the fence line spraying done. And then it's to jump on the outside of the boundary and do all the boundary work, which is, like I said, nice, simple and easy. Fence line spraying is complete on the inside of our boundary, so now I'm just starting the outside, which is like I said, simple and easy because we've graded the boundaries like we've done here. It's nice, easy driving. It's just driving around, got all the jets on, and yeah, spray it all out. Won't be finished today though. It's 3:30 at the moment, so yeah, I'll only get part of it done, but tomorrow I should be able to wrap it up pretty quickly, hopefully, and then yeah, that'll be all done. I won't take the boom off just yet because it's I'll just make sure that I killed everything properly, like around my house and everything like that, before I go taking the boom off, because it's quite an effort to get it back on. Well, that does the end of the day for me, and at least we got all that fence line spraying done. Obviously got to do the boundary, but I'm glad that we got the main part all done. So what I'll do tomorrow, and I wonder how that thing broke earlier this year. by that. So what I'll do tomorrow is just brew up again and hit the boundaries. Should only take me half a day to do, because like I said, it's really quick, easy work, and it's just driving for a while. I've got to go back to where I was, where I ran out, and just drive the length of the road essentially. So simple and easy. So I'm going to leave the video there, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and others, catch you in the next one.